it's Rachel with Piper, and today we're going to be working on loose leash walking. She's got a very big dog, but still leash manners are very important, and it makes it a lot easier for you. And since you have both Lucy and Piper, since dogs tend to feed off of each other's energies, it's good if they are both calm and in control whenever they're on a leash and going somewhere. Of course, they tend to get excited because whenever you get the leash out, it means that they do get to go somewhere, which is very exciting. Could be a fun place like daycare. So, of course, they're going to want to pull and get there quickly. Also, if you're just going for a walk, you never know what you might see, and so that probably gets them very excited as well. So, you want to have control of them, and you want to teach them to not pull on the leash. So, the first thing about loose leash walking is giving her the whole leash. So just put your hand through the loop or hang on to the end, and she has this whole thing. Now she has plenty of room to walk around and see lots of stuff without actually pulling tight on the leash. It's not like I'm keeping her back from anything. She can explore plenty. Now there are a couple methods that you can use to do this loose leash walking. Practice both of them and see which one works best, or use them together. Both is a good idea, and it might depend on the situation. I'm going to start showing you now, since she is interested in stuff and she will pull anyway. The first one is called the back method. So, when you're walking, you're holding on to the end of the leash, and you can tell when she's pulling because it's easy to see when it gets tight, just like this. So when you're walking and the leash gets tight, you're going to plant your feet and snap your fingers or pat your leg and tell her back. I'm going to pat my leg because I can't snap, she wouldn't hear it. So, you're walking, she starts pulling, plant your feet where you are, so pipe her back, and she comes back like that, and you have all the slack. Then, when they're slack in the leash, you can continue on your walk. Every time she starts to pull, plant your feet and call her back. That way she'll learn to walk nicely on the leash without pulling. Usually for loose leash walking, we don't use treats as reinforcement because the treat is that you get to keep walking. And that makes it nice and easy, so if you're taking Lucy and Piper for a walk in the evening, you don't necessarily have to carry around a treat bag to get them both to listen to you. They will both want to continue going on the walk, and so that is a good way to reward them. So I'm going to start walking Piper around here. I might get out of earshot of the video camera, but I'm just going to be walking. As soon as she starts pulling, planting my feet and saying Piper back, and getting her to come to me so there's no slack in the leash. But she's kind of taking time to sniff. There's not anything, not a certain destination. Piper back. She's trying to get to, so she's not pulling too much. Piper back. Piper back. Piper back. Alright, she's doing really well. As you can see, even if she's pulling off to the side, I just tell her back and she comes right back to me. And then we continue on our walk. Ideally, it would be in the same direction that you are going already, but since we have kind of a limited view for the camera, can't do too much. I'm going to turn it just a little bit to open up what we have to look at. So, Piper and I are going to walk this way. right, she's doing really well. She was doing most of the pulling when we were getting to that gate, and she kind of saw a destination to go to instead of just walking in circles in here. So that kind of shows you, as you can see, as I was walking around, when the leash got tight, I just stopped and I pipe her back, and she came back to me, and we were able to continue on our way. So that's the first method of loose leash walking, and I call that the back method. There's another one called the reverse method, and how you do this one is as soon as the leash gets tight, say we're walking this way, you turn 180 degrees, and you give her a little tug and say, "Piper, this way," and continue on your walk. Now, you don't have to pull her and yank her around, drag her with you. Sometimes that by pulling hard on the leash, dogs feel like that gives them something to fight against, and so they feel like they're being restrained, so they just try harder to keep on pushing forward. Instead, you just give a little tug or a wiggle of the leash to get her attention, and you go the other way. This is effective, and dogs respond well to it. However, if you have a certain destination in mind, sometimes this can take a long time. If you keep on having to go back and forth and only turn around when she starts pulling. But I'll show you what it looks like, and you'll be able to see the difference. Just like that. She's doing a very good job. See, no, I was not pulling on her. I just gave her a little tug. I'm only holding the leash with one finger, but that was plenty to get her to turn around and walk nicely on the leash again. Alright, she's getting all tangled up here. I'm going to try to walk farther back, show you a little bit more how we do it. She doesn't pull much coming this way because she knows we stop right about here. Alright, she is being very good on the leash. She's not pulling a lot, so there's not much more to show you. But now she is at least familiar with both methods. And now that she knows this, and now that you know it, never let her get away with pulling on the leash. Every time the leash goes on, use one of these methods so that she learns to always be calm. When the leash goes on and she doesn't get to pull you around, you are in control of the walk and you get to decide where you're going. Like I said, you can use both of these. Both is a good way to practice so that she does always walk nicely on the leash, and with practicing with both, you'll be able to see which one works the best for her. She's doing really well. The important thing to do with this is to practice on walks at least 20 to 30 minutes a day. So if you don't normally take them on walks, start doing that, just so that she gets practice. Try different routes around your house so that there are new things, so that even when there are distractions or things she's unfamiliar with and starts pulling, she will learn to walk nicely. If you practice every day like that, get her in the habit of it, you won't have to keep on going back and forth or stopping and calling her back to you to get that loose leash. It's just going to become second nature to her. So, remember those two methods: planting your feet, saying Piper back with a pat on the leg, or turning 180 degrees, wiggling the leash and say this way, and practicing every day for 20 to 30 minutes. That should help you, and I'm sure that your leash manners will be wonderful in no time. This was Rachel and Piper. Today we were working on loose leash walking.